Today I'm just going to show you how to remove the fixed jet bolt here underneath the carburetor on the Tecumseh snowblower engine. The next thing you want to do is remove the wheel, the left wheel. Just slide it out. I'm just going to reinsert the pin in here so I don't lose it. The next thing you're going to need is a 1/2-inch wrench like this to remove the bowl nut, which is the fixed jet underneath your carburetor. So I'm just going to remove this bolt, which is actually the fixed jet on these carburetors. You cannot adjust these carburetors. They're non-adjustable. You can, however, adjust the idle speed of the engine. So here I've got the fixed jet screw out. Next, I'm just going to pry the bowl out. There could be a bit of gas that's going to leak out of this. I'm just going to put a rag underneath to soak up the fuel. I ran it dry previously, that's why there's no fuel that came out. So I've got the bowl here, which looks pretty clean on the edges inside. So I can put this back on. This here is a fuel dump valve. When you've got the carburetor on the machine, you just press underneath and the remaining fuel will leak out of the bowl. This is good for winter storage. Now I'm going to show you what needs to be cleaned on these fixed jet bolts. You'll notice around this fixed jet bolt that there are some small holes. First, there's a small hole here which goes right across, and you can see that it's clean. And second, there's a little tiny hole right here where this little wire is. And for this you need a very small wire to clean this. You could always cut off a small piece of wire from a wire brush and stick it at the end of a wooden match and then insert it into the hole here. So this jet is already clean, but I'm just doing this to show you that this is the hole you would want to make sure is very clean. And as well, it goes right through the center and joins all the other holes as well. So you can run this through here. When you actually run this little wire in here, you're going to see it come in the inside of the jet there. And this is what you want. If it's extremely dirty, spray it with some carb cleaner or engine cleaner, let it soak and give it a good clean. You can also air blow it with your compressor. Here's another bowl from another carburetor. And I'm going to show you what needs to be cleaned. And I'm going to show you something that could cause a problem. You see on the inside of the bowl here, there's some corrosion. It goes all the way around the bowl. And the gasket that was on there also has a bit of corrosion on. Now what this can do is it can prevent a tight seal there when you put it back on the carburetor and cause an air leak, which can prevent your machine from running as good as it should. So in this case, for what these little bowls cost, I just replace it when it's for a customer. But if you clean it, make sure it's very clean and not scratched all the way around, and put a new O-ring when you replace the bowl. So now that I've cleaned the bowl, the exterior with an engine cleaner and all that, I'm just going to put it back onto the carb. So now that I'm ready to put it back on, first of all, I'm going to check to make sure that the O-ring is still on the carburetor. So I can see that the O-ring is securely in place around the carb. So now with the shallow part of the bowl right here, this is the part that will go in toward the back needle is. So I'm just going to insert it like that and push down gently. You want to make sure that the O-ring in there doesn't get misplaced. And then the final thing will be your jet screw. Don't forget the little washer between the screw and the ball. And with your 1/2-inch wrench, just tighten it up. Not too tight. Not too loose either. If it's too loose, it's going to suck in air and cause problems. And that's good. And that's all there is to it. In some of my previous videos I've showed how to clean the carburetor like this, which has the adjustable screw at the bottom. That's for the older machines. This is more for the modern machines now. And now I'll just put the wheel back on and that's it. Just line up the holes.